Okay, so you want your iPhone to last. Well, here's what you want to stop doing so your iPhone can go the distance. Stop thinking that the iPhone being durable, the marketing telling you most durable iPhone ever, means that you should go caseless. Now, you might be saying, well, Nick, bro, you're making a video. You have no case on your phone. Actually, the cases come off for the video because I'm trying to show and demonstrate the product. However, day to day, they stay in the case. And if you're wondering why does his phones, they look so clean and gorgeous? It's because I wipe them down pretty regularly. I take care of them like you would take care of your car, waxing your car. I clean them up a similar way. I just don't use wax because it's not a vehicle. I use things like a screen cleaner. I'll leave a link to this one down below, as well as a microfiber towel to keep it clean. In addition to that, keep it in a case. So durability, yes, it's strong. You could drop this 13 Pro on cement. It's likely not going to break. It'll be usable, but it's going to be dinged up and it's going to look pretty nasty. There are going to be some chips on there, something like that. For this one, something like an SE, you'll have some scrapes and maybe a dent on that aluminum right there. So yeah, just keep that thing in a case. If you want this phone to last. It's a pretty common thing, but I still see people not using cases on their phone. To me, for $1,000, it's kind of risky. For this one, not so much. Some people say, well, I just got Apple Care. I'll just have Apple replace it. Well, if you want to just throw $100 every time you break your phone just to get another one, be my guest. But for me, I'd rather save my Benjamin and definitely just keep it protected with a cheap $5 case. Stop waiting for your battery to go all the way down, like to 0 or even into the red, and then you charge it. What does this do? It decreases your maximum capacity, and then your battery has to be replaced. Again, more money in Apple's pocket for them to fix your battery and replace it. So no free battery replacements around these parts. You're definitely going to pay to have the battery replaced. So guys, just, start charging more frequently before it drops under like 40, like just even under 50 would be recommended. That's how I keep my maximum capacity up. I'll talk more about that in an upcoming video, but at the same time, just don't let it drain all the way down. Now, the next one is to not use your iPhone in extreme temperatures. So right now it's pretty mild here in my city. However, in your city, it might be an extreme temperature right now, and that would be extremely cold or extremely hot. What does this do? It can damage the internal components, especially the battery, and you'll notice a dip in battery life. If you want the phone to stay, super well functioning for basically ever, try to keep it in more mild conditions. I'm not saying you can't use your phone outside. I'm just saying if you get into those extreme, and I mean extreme, not just, your regular everyday usage. I mean like super, super cold. Like I don't take my phone out too much when it's like below 0. And if you're like in a climate where it's like well over 110, something like that, I would kind of ease my use or keep it out of the window where the sun's beaming on your car and damaging the battery and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Next one is charging with non-Apple chargers. I've done this before and I noticed that I started losing capacity on my battery. I used to do this on my 7 Plus and it was just dropping pretty quick. So don't use cheap chargers. When you're charging through this Lightning port, try to use the Apple branded charger. Just make sure if you're going to use a third party, it's a really well-known established brand that people have great reviews about and they don't say that it damages their phone. Other than that, try to stick with the Apple branded chargers. I know they're a little bit more, it's kind of annoying. They're not that fast. They're not that cool. They're just kind of basic Apple chargers, but they keep your phone pretty safe. The next one is being clumsy and just basically dropping your phone a lot. Now, this sounds like, if it sounds like you, then definitely you're going to know this is you, but you would think that, you're not going to drop your phone much, but the things happen. You're carrying stuff in your hands. You got something in your hands. You got keys in your hands, whatever. You got stuff in your hands and you just drop stuff, man. Like you got a wallet in one hand, you got this over here and like, boom, it just falls. Or you're whipping up some food in the kitchen and it's on the edge of the table. You got your little recipe. It just falls off the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like it just falls. So like try to keep it in case so if you have those clumsy moments, you're not going to damage the phone itself. So definitely I would say that for sure, because repeated dropping can damage the internal components. In addition to that, you're likely to chip up the camera and damage some of the camera housing. So definitely keep that in mind when talking about you want your phone to last, your iPhone. The next one is shoving this thing into your back pocket. Now, a lot of people do this. You'll see a lot of people, some people, you'll even see their iPhone sticking out of their back pocket, almost like it's a trend. You'll see like the camera housing and stuff, and it's cool, I guess, if you like doing that, but then when you sit down and crush your iPhone, it won't be lasting very long. So definitely I would advise against keeping these things in back pockets. Or even like, you know, maybe sometimes you'll put it in a bag and you'll just shove it in there. Sometimes you'll step on the bag or you'll sit on your bag on accident and you crush your phone with your body weight. So not likely with these new durable iPhones, but still you might sustain some damage. And the most annoying thing is if you have like damage that was just so avoidable. It's just super annoying. Those types of damages, I can't stand them. The ones where it's like, okay, man, it was an accident, I'm like, all right. But you know those ones where you're just like, man, that could have been avoided. Like, that's super annoying. So definitely try to do that. And the next one is taking your iPhone near a shower. Now, we could talk about how the iPhone, just like earlier when I talked about the durability marketing, they talk about IP68 and stuff like that and the water resistance ratings and stuff. Water resistance, electronics and water don't typically go so well. So yeah, they're perfectly sealed up around these edges, but just don't do it. Like taking the shower, I took my 10R in the shower and I learned my lesson. I messed up the speakers pretty bad. Eventually I got it out, but it was super annoying. So definitely I would say be careful with these around. I just wouldn't even recommend them around the shower. Just keep them out of there. If you want to listen to music, get yourself a Bluetooth speaker, the waterproof Bluetooth speaker, and just throw that thing on while you're in the shower. But like, definitely don't consider taking these near water. You can get them wet, but it's just not recommended. It's not a smart thing to do. And also, if you want it to last, don't try to repair your iPhone yourself. You think you can take off the Torx screws, you think you could put these little things on and pull the screen off and prepare it yourself, and then you end up pulling a cable and messing something up internally, and you have to go to Apple anyway. So just leave, unless you're a skilled technician, you're a skilled repair guy, and you know how to repair electronics, keep your paws out of here, because this stuff is very complex and it's very tightly engineered, and if you mess any little thing up, you can mess up the whole thing. So I would really advise against it. I've done it before. I've tried to break my phones open, and you know, I did get some successful, you know, repairs done on my past phones, but some of them I messed them up pretty bad. So from that experience alone, I'm not saying everybody's the same. Some of you might blow me away when it comes to repairing electronics. Some of you are skilled in that, and if you are and you know that, fine. But if you don't, you want your iPhone to last, don't be digging your paws in there. The next one I gotta say, this one really applies to those people who wear shorts and are active and stuff. Don't put these phones caseless in a short pocket, that like a shorts pocket. You know what I'm talking about, those pockets where like you can see the phone just dangling out the guy's shorts or whatever. Something like that is not smart. The phones will easily pop out. I was biking like 2 weeks ago and my phone fell in the middle of the street. And I was like, whoa, lucky there was no car there. And the phone, I picked up the phone and it had a case, thankfully. Definitely didn't damage it, but I was like, whew, that was a close one. And you know why? Because it was sticking in my shorts pockets, like those little shorts pockets. So watch the pocket game. whatever your pocket game is, you know how big they are. Try to keep these in more secure locations when you are storing them. And the last one is to be careful with dropping it on the camera housing, the camera lenses. Reason being is the camera repair is pretty pricey, especially if you damage the glass and stuff like that. In addition to that, it's kind of complex. Also, you can mess up the photo quality. Now, the 13 Pro has incredibly durable cameras. I think there's even sapphire glass on there. So incredibly difficult to crack. Probably never going to happen in your lifetime. But at the same time, you don't want this beautiful piece of engineering to look absolutely horrible because you are being reckless with your iPhone. And this little SE camera, this thing's easy to get a little slit right across that baby. So definitely be careful with the camera. So that's it. Those are my reasons why, if you want your iPhone to last, this is what you want to stop doing for sure. Thumbs up if you found it helpful, entertaining, informing. Let me know your thoughts on how to make your iPhone last a little bit longer. Do you have some tips? Do you have some experiences? I'd love to hear your stories about how you broke your iPhone, how you dropped your iPhone, issues you've had with it, or how you damaged it and you learned your lesson, and share that lesson with the community. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well. Peace.